1. We're taking a look at a 1969 Chevrolet Malibu that's currently for sale on Facebook Marketplace. The seller has listed this classic car at a price of $14,500, but they've mentioned that the price is negotiable in person. Now, it's important to note that this Malibu is not in perfect condition. In fact, the seller has been quite upfront about the car's current state. The ad mentions that the car has no engine and no transmission, which means it's not in running condition. However, the seller has invested in some upgrades, including a 1969 Chevelle suspension and new brakes. The exterior of the car is finished in a blue color, while the interior features a beige color scheme. The car has had more than 3 owners over its lifetime, which is not uncommon for a vehicle of this age. It's clear that this Malibu is a project car that will require some work to get it back on the road. The lack of an engine and transmission is a significant hurdle, but for the right buyer who has the time, skills, and resources, it could be a rewarding restoration project. The seller's honesty about the car's condition is refreshing, as it helps potential buyers understand exactly what they're getting into. It's always better to have a clear picture of a vehicle's state before making a purchase, especially when it comes to classic cars that may need extensive work. If you're interested in this 1969 Chevrolet Malibu, it's worth reaching out to the seller to gather more information and potentially schedule an in-person visit to see the car for yourself. Remember, the price is negotiable, so there may be some room for discussion if you decide to move forward with the purchase. Overall, while this Malibu is not in turnkey condition, it could be a solid foundation for a restoration project if you're up for the challenge. As always, be sure to do your due diligence, ask plenty of questions, and thoroughly inspect the vehicle before making any final decisions. 2. We're checking out a 1967 Chrysler Newport that's up for sale on Facebook Marketplace. The seller has listed this classic beauty at a price of $10,000, but they're open to offers, so there might be some wiggle room for negotiation. First off, let's talk about the condition of this Newport. The seller mentions that the car runs and drives great, which is always a positive sign. They've also invested in numerous new parts, although they don't specify exactly what has been replaced or upgraded. One notable feature is that the air conditioning works, which is a huge plus for a classic car like this. Under the hood, you'll find a big block 383 Mopar engine, which is sure to provide plenty of power and a thrilling driving experience. The car has an automatic transmission, making it easy to drive and enjoy. The exterior of the Newport is finished in a blue color, and the interior also features a blue color scheme. The seller mentions that the car has been driven 54,000 miles, which is relatively low for a vehicle of this age. Based on the seller's description, it seems that this 1967 Chrysler Newport is in good condition overall. The fact that it runs and drives well, has working air conditioning, and has received many new parts suggests that it has been well maintained and cared for. However, as with any classic car purchase, it's essential to do your due diligence. If you're interested in this Newport, it's a good idea to reach out to the seller and ask for more details about the car's history, maintenance records, and any known issues. It's also wise to schedule an in-person visit to inspect the car thoroughly and take it for a test drive if possible. The seller's openness to offers is encouraging, as it indicates that they're willing to negotiate on the price. If you're serious about purchasing this Newport, come prepared with a fair offer based on your research and the car's condition. In summary, this 1967 Chrysler Newport seems to be a solid classic car with a lot to offer. Its big block 383 Mopar engine, working air conditioning, and overall good condition make it an attractive option for enthusiasts. Just remember to do your homework, ask questions, and inspect the car carefully before making a final decision. 3. We're taking a closer look at a 1985 Oldsmobile Delta 88 that's currently for sale on Facebook Marketplace. The seller has listed this classic sedan at a price of $6,700. One of the standout features of this Delta 88 is its low mileage. The seller mentions that the car has been driven just 76,306 miles, which is quite impressive for a vehicle that's nearly 40 years old. This suggests that the car has been well maintained and hasn't been subjected to excessive wear and tear. The car comes equipped with an automatic transmission, making it easy to drive and operate. The exterior of the Delta 88 is finished in a clean white color, while the interior features a blue color scheme. According to the seller, this Oldsmobile Delta 88 has had only one owner throughout its lifetime. This is a good sign, as it often indicates that the car has been well cared for and has a clear ownership history. The seller also states that the vehicle is paid off and comes with a clean title, providing peace of mind for potential buyers. Importantly, the seller notes that the car has no significant damage or problems. This is a crucial piece of information, as it suggests that the Delta 88 is in good overall condition and doesn't have any major issues that could lead to costly repairs down the line. The seller's description is brief, simply stating that they have the title. While this is important information, it would be helpful to have more details about the car's history, maintenance records, and any recent upgrades or repairs. If you're interested in this 1985 Oldsmobile Delta 88, it's a good idea to reach out to the seller and ask for more information. Inquire about the car's service history, any known issues, and whether they have additional photos or documentation available. Given the car's low mileage, single-owner history, and clean title, it seems to be a solid option for anyone in the market for a classic sedan. However, as with any used car purchase, it's essential to do your due diligence, inspect the vehicle thoroughly, and take it for a test drive if possible before making a final decision. In summary, this 1985 Oldsmobile Delta 88 appears to be a well-maintained, low-mileage classic with a clean history. While more information from the seller would be beneficial, the car's overall condition and attractive price point make it worth considering for enthusiasts and collectors alike. 4. We're taking a look at a 1975 Chrysler Newport that's currently for sale on Facebook Marketplace. The seller has listed this classic sedan at a price of $4,500. First, let's discuss the condition of this Newport based on the seller's description. The seller mentions that the car runs, which is a good starting point. However, they also note that it probably needs a tune-up, indicating that there may be some minor mechanical issues or maintenance tasks that need to be addressed. One significant issue that the seller points out is that the windshield has busted places. This is an important factor to consider, as replacing a windshield can be costly, and driving with a damaged windshield can be dangerous and may not be legal in some areas. On a positive note, the seller states that the Newport is a smooth riding and driving car, suggesting that the overall driving experience is comfortable and enjoyable. They also mention that the car has less than 50 miles on new tires, which is a nice bonus and can provide improved traction and safety. The car has an automatic transmission, making it easy to operate. The exterior of the Newport is finished in a gold color, while the interior features a white color scheme. The seller notes that the car has had 2 owners throughout its lifetime, which is fairly typical for a vehicle of this age. In terms of mileage, the seller reports that the car has been driven 87,752 miles. While this is higher than some of the other classic cars we've seen, it's not necessarily a red flag, especially if the car has been well maintained over the years. If you're considering this 1975 Chrysler Newport, it's important to keep in mind that it may require some work and repairs, particularly regarding the windshield and potential tune-up needs. It's crucial to factor in these additional costs when evaluating the overall value of the car. As always, it's a good idea to reach out to the seller and ask for more information about the car's history, maintenance records, and any other known issues. If possible, schedule an in-person visit to inspect the car thoroughly and take it for a test drive to get a better sense of its condition and driving experience. In summary, this 1975 Chrysler Newport seems to be a mixed bag. While it runs and offers a smooth driving experience, the damaged windshield and potential need for a tune-up are important considerations. At a price of $4,500, it may be a fair deal for someone willing to invest some time and money into addressing these issues. However, as with any used car purchase, It's essential to do your due diligence and carefully weigh the pros and cons before making a decision. 5. We're taking a closer look at a 1966 Ford Thunderbird that's currently for sale on Facebook Marketplace. The seller has listed this classic car at a price of $4,000 or best offer, and they're also open to trades for items like a four-wheeler, mule, or boat. Now, it's important to note that this Thunderbird is a project car, which means it will require some work and investment to get it back into top shape. The seller is upfront about this, stating that it's a beautiful project car and providing details about its condition. One of the main issues with this Thunderbird is that the 390 Ci engine is frozen and will need to be rebuilt. This is a significant undertaking and will likely be one of the most costly aspects of restoring this car. However, the seller notes that the car is nearly 99% intact, which is a positive sign for a project vehicle. The seller mentions that there is minimal rust on the car, mostly surface rust, which is a common issue with older vehicles. They also state that the floors are solid, which is an important factor to consider when evaluating a classic car. In terms of the interior, the seller notes that there are a couple of minor tears, and the carpets have been removed because they were uncleaned. This suggests that the interior will need some attention and possibly replacement of certain components. The seller also points out that the rear brakes need to be freed up, which is another item that will require attention during the restoration process. On a positive note, they mention that almost all of the chrome is still present, which is a desirable feature for many classic car enthusiasts. The car has been driven 94,534 miles, which is not unusually high for a vehicle of this age. It comes with an automatic transmission and features a blue exterior and interior color scheme. The seller reports that the car has had 3 or more owners throughout its lifetime. If you're considering this 1966 Ford Thunderbird, it's crucial to understand that it is a project car and will require significant time, effort, and financial investment to restore. However, if you're up for the challenge and have the necessary skills and resources, it could be a rewarding endeavor. As with any project car, it's essential to thoroughly inspect the vehicle in person, if possible, to assess its condition and determine the full scope of work required. It's also a good idea to research the cost of parts and labor for the specific issues mentioned by the seller to get a better understanding of the total investment needed. 6. We're taking a look at a 1964 Chevrolet Corvair that's currently for sale on Facebook Marketplace. The seller has listed this classic car at a price of $8,500. From the seller's description, it's clear that this Corvair is a very well-preserved example of the model. The seller mentions that the car is a time capsule and still has most of its original paint, which is a testament to its excellent condition. Under the hood, you'll find an air-cooled flat-six engine paired with a 4-speed manual transmission. The seller notes that both the engine and transmission run smoothly, which is a great sign for a car of this age. Moving on to the interior, the seller states that it is almost 100% original, with the exception of the carpet, which was replaced at some point. While the interior does show some wear, the seller believes it's too nice to replace, adding to the car's overall originality and charm. The body of this Corvair is described as super solid, with very little rust. The seller mentions that there are only 2 small spots of rust, which is quite impressive for a car that's nearly 60 years old. The chrome and glass are also said to be in nice condition, and the car has newer white wall tires and a spare. One of the standout features of this Corvair is the attention to detail and the presence of many original components. The seller highlights that the dome light and door sensor still work, the steering wheel has no cracks, and the car retains the factory under-dash radio, as well as the reverb Dodge position switch. The seller does acknowledge that the paint has its share of small blemishes, and the roof panel is quite faded. However, they mention that they plan to have that section vinyl wrapped in the near future, which could help to improve the car's overall appearance. It's important to note that the seller states the car has a clean title and no significant damage or problems. This, combined with the low mileage of just 40,000 miles, suggests that this Corvair has been well cared for throughout its life. If you're in the market for a classic car that you can enjoy as is and take to shows, This 1964 Chevrolet Corvair seems like a great option. Its originality, smooth-running engine and transmission, and solid condition make it an attractive choice for collectors and enthusiasts alike. 7. We're taking a closer look at a 1965 Chevrolet Corvair that's currently for sale on Facebook Marketplace. The seller, a private classic car collector with over 40 years of experience, has listed this Corvair at a price of $12,750. What makes this Corvair particularly special is its rarity and excellent condition. The seller emphasizes that this car is a first-year Monza Sport sedan, a four-door hardtop model that was only produced from 1965 to 1967. Even more impressive is the fact that this Corvair is equipped with rare factory air conditioning, a feature that was present in less than 3% of Corvairs at the time. The seller mentions that the factory air conditioning system has been completely refurbished, including a changeover to R34 refrigerant. They also note that over $3,500 has been spent on maintenance, replacement, and repair of various components over the past 3 years, indicating that the car has been well cared for under their ownership. With just 79,700 miles on the odometer, approximately 1,400 miles per year, the seller believes that the mileage is original, further testament to the car's easy life. The seller also states that the car has always been professionally maintained and that they can think of no reason why this Corvair couldn't be driven any distance at this time. The car's history is well documented, with the seller noting that it was born in Texas and remained there until it went to a collector in the early 2000s. The seller purchased the car from the collector's estate and had it shipped to South Florida, where it became part of their private collection. This Corvair boasts an impressive array of factory options, including a padded dash, AM/FM radio, right and left rear-view mirrors, backup lights, 2-speed windshield washers with washer, and mag wheel covers, only available from 65-67. Importantly, the seller states that this Corvair is 100% matching numbers, including the factory air conditioning, the optional 110 HP engine, the original Regal red paint, and the red interior. They also note that the car has never had rust or body damage, and that the chrome is all original and in excellent condition with no pitting. Given the car's rarity, excellent condition, and well-documented history, the asking price of $12,750 seems quite reasonable for a collector or enthusiast looking for a unique and well-maintained classic car. 8. We're taking a look at a stunning 1979 Chevrolet El Camino that's currently for sale on Facebook Marketplace. The seller has listed this classic beauty at a price of $7,900. From the seller's description, it's clear that this El Camino is in excellent condition. The seller mentions that the car runs and drives excellently, which is always a great sign for a classic vehicle. One of the standout features of this El Camino is the working cold air conditioning, a highly desirable feature that ensures a comfortable ride even on hot summer days. The exterior of the car is described as having no rust and an excellent paint job, indicating that it has been well maintained and protected from the elements. The El Camino also comes equipped with nice rims and tires, adding to its overall appealing appearance. Moving on to the interior, the seller states that it is in excellent condition as well. The dash is not cracked, which is a common issue in many classic cars, and all the gauges are reported to be working properly. The seller also mentions that the spare tire and jack are included, which is a nice bonus. Under the hood, you'll find a Chevy V8 305 engine, a reliable and powerful power plant that should provide plenty of performance for cruising and enjoying this classic ride. The seller has provided a list of maintenance and upgrades that have been performed on the El Camino within the last 12 months, demonstrating a commitment to keeping the car in top shape. These include new window seals, a new headliner, new plugs and wires, a new hood heat shield, new wiper blades, new shocks on all 4 corners, new brake pads, and a new exhaust system from the catalytic converter back. These recent improvements add to the car's overall value and show that it has been well cared for. Given the El Camino's excellent condition, recent maintenance, and desirable features like the working cold air conditioning. The asking price of $7,900 seems quite reasonable. This classic ride would make a great addition to any collector's garage, or serve as a fun and stylish daily driver for someone looking to stand out from the crowd. As with any classic car purchase, it's always a good idea to inspect the vehicle in person if possible, and to ask the seller for any additional information or documentation they may have. This can help you to verify the car's condition and make an informed decision about whether it's the right fit for you. 9. We're taking a closer look at a 1985 Ford Mustang that's currently for sale on Facebook Marketplace. The seller has listed this classic pony car at a price of $6,300. First, let's talk about the car's condition and the seller's description. The seller mentions that they have invested $5,000 in repairs, which is a substantial amount of money. While they don't specify the exact nature of these repairs, having the receipt is a good sign, as it provides some transparency and documentation of the work that has been done. The seller also notes that the Mustang has new tires and runs well, which suggests that it has been maintained and is in good mechanical condition. Another positive aspect is that the air conditioning still works, which is a nice feature to have, especially in a classic car. It's important to note that the seller states that this Mustang has not been abused. This is a good indication that the car has been treated well throughout its life and has not been subjected to excessive wear and tear or neglect. In terms of mileage, the Mustang has been driven 159,455 miles, which is relatively high for a classic car. However, it's not necessarily a deal breaker, especially if the car has been well maintained and has received regular servicing. The car comes equipped with a manual transmission, which is often preferred by enthusiasts who enjoy a more engaging driving experience. The exterior of the Mustang is finished in a red color, while the interior features a white color scheme. The seller mentions that the car has had 2 owners, which is a relatively low number for a vehicle that's over 35 years old. This could be a good sign, as it suggests that the car has had a more stable ownership history and has likely been better cared for than a car that has changed hands more frequently. Another positive aspect is that the vehicle is paid off, which means that the buyer won't have to worry about any outstanding loans or liens on the car. Given the recent repairs, the car's overall condition, and the seller's description, the asking price of $6,300 seems reasonable for a classic Mustang. However, as with any used car purchase, it's always a good idea to inspect the vehicle in person, if possible, and to ask the seller for more details about the car's history and any additional documentation they may have. 10. We're taking a look at a 1979 Chevrolet Camaro that's currently for sale on Facebook Marketplace. The seller has listed this classic muscle car at a price of $7,000 or best offer, and they're also open to trades. From the seller's description, it's clear that this Camaro is a great cruiser with some recent upgrades, but it also has a few issues that potential buyers should be aware of. Let's dive into the details. First, the seller mentions that the car needs a new exhaust system. While this is an important component that will need to be addressed, it's not uncommon for classic cars to require exhaust work. On the positive side, the seller has recently installed brand new brakes on all 4 corners, including new drums and shoes in the rear and new rotors and pads up front. This is a significant upgrade that should improve the car's stopping power and safety. Under the hood, you'll find a 350 CI engine equipped with a 4-barrel carburetor, which should provide plenty of power for cruising and enjoying the classic Camaro experience. The seller has also installed a Hotchkiss rear seat bar, which is a popular performance upgrade that can improve the car's handling and rigidity. The Camaro is equipped with air conditioning, which is a nice feature to have in a classic car, especially during hot summer months. However, the seller notes that the interior is only about 75% complete, so potential buyers should be prepared to address some interior issues or invest in further restoration. The seller mentions that the brakes could benefit from being bled, but the car runs and stops fine as is. They also note that all the lights work, except for one fog light, and the high beams function properly. In terms of mileage, the Camaro has been driven approximately 80,000 miles, which is relatively low for a car of this age. The car comes with an automatic transmission and features a blue exterior and interior color scheme. The seller states that the vehicle is paid off, which is always a plus, as it means the buyer won't have to deal with any outstanding loans or liens. Overall, this 1979 Chevrolet Camaro seems to be a solid classic car with some recent upgrades and a few minor issues that need to be addressed. The asking price of $7,000 or best offer seems reasonable, given the car's condition and the work that has already been done. 11. We're taking a closer look at a 1979 Ford Pinto that's currently for sale on Facebook Marketplace. The seller has listed this classic compact car at a price of $8,500, but they are open to offers and trades. What makes this Pinto particularly interesting is its originality and low mileage. The seller mentions that this is a one-owner car with just 62,000 miles on the odometer, which is quite low for a vehicle that's over 40 years old. This suggests that the car has been well cared for and has not been subjected to excessive wear and tear. The Pinto is equipped with a 4-cylinder engine and a manual transmission, which is a common configuration for this model. The seller states that the car runs and drives well, which is always a good sign for a classic vehicle. Originally from Colorado, this Pinto has been kept in a climate-controlled garage, which has likely helped to preserve its condition over the years. The seller mentions that the car is a real head-turner, suggesting that it attracts attention and admiration from onlookers. The exterior of the Pinto is finished in a tan color, which is complemented by a matching tan interior. The seller notes that the car comes with all kinds of extra parts, which could be useful for future maintenance or repairs. They also mention that the original hubcaps and steering wheel are included, which adds to the car's overall originality and authenticity. It's important to note that the seller does not mention any major issues or damage to the car, which is a positive sign. However, as with any classic car, it's always a good idea to inspect the vehicle thoroughly in person and ask the seller for more details about its history and condition. The fact that this Pinto has had only 2 owners and is paid off is also a plus, as it suggests a more stable ownership history and eliminates any concerns about outstanding loans or liens. Given the car's originality, low mileage, and overall condition, the asking price of $8,500 may be justified for the right buyer. However, the seller's openness to offers and trades indicates that there may be some room for negotiation. If you're interested in this 1979 Ford Pinto, it's worth reaching out to the seller to gather more information and potentially schedule a time to see the car in person. Be sure to ask about any maintenance records, known issues, and the car's overall history. In summary, this 1979 Ford Pinto appears to be a well-preserved, low-mileage classic that has been kept in a climate-controlled garage. Its originality, extra parts, and overall condition make it an attractive option for collectors or enthusiasts looking for a unique and authentic classic car experience. 12. We're taking a look at a stunning 1985 Chevrolet Corvette that's currently for sale on Facebook Marketplace. The seller has listed this classic sports car at a price of $8,800. From the seller's description, it's clear that this Corvette is in excellent condition. The seller mentions that it's a very nice and great running car, which is always a positive sign for a classic vehicle. The fact that the seller describes it as very nice suggests that the car has been well maintained and cared for over the years. The Corvette boasts a striking red exterior, which is complemented by a matching red leather interior. This color combination is a classic choice for the Corvette and really makes the car stand out. Under the hood, you'll find an automatic transmission, which makes this Corvette easy to drive and enjoy. The seller also mentions that the car has all power features, which likely includes power windows, power locks, and power seats, adding to the overall convenience and comfort of the driving experience. One notable feature of this Corvette is the cold air conditioning, which is a must-have for any classic car enthusiast who wants to enjoy comfortable rides during the hot summer months. The seller also mentions that the audio system has been updated, which is a nice touch that brings a bit of modern convenience to this classic ride. The car has been driven 54,450 miles, which is relatively low for a vehicle that's nearly 40 years old. This suggests that the Corvette has been enjoyed but not overused, and has likely been maintained well throughout its life. Importantly, the seller states that the vehicle has no significant damage or problems, which is always reassuring when considering a classic car purchase. They also mention that the car has a clean title and is paid off, which means the buyer won't have to worry about any outstanding loans or liens. Given the Corvette's excellent condition, low mileage, and desirable features, the asking price of $8,800 seems quite reasonable. This car would make a great addition to any collector's garage or serve as a fun weekend cruiser for someone who appreciates classic American sports cars. As with any used car purchase, it's always a good idea to inspect the vehicle in person, if possible, and to ask the seller for any additional information or documentation they may have. This can help you to verify the car's condition and make an informed decision about whether it's the right fit for you. 13. We're taking a closer look at a 1965 Ford Thunderbird that's currently for sale on Facebook Marketplace. The seller has listed this classic car at a price of $9,500. From the seller's description, it's clear that this Thunderbird has had an interesting history. The seller, who does excavating work, took the car on trade for some dirt work while helping a friend whose father had passed away a few years ago. The car originally came from Washington State, where the previous owner was starting to retire the Thunderbird, but unfortunately passed away during that time. The seller has invested a significant amount of money and effort into making the car roadworthy. They have installed many new parts for the fuel system, including a new fuel tank, sending unit, and carburetor. The brake system has also received new parts, which is crucial for safety and performance. The seller mentions that they do drive the car and always receive positive attention, including looks, thumbs ups, and compliments. This suggests that the Thunderbird has a strong presence on the road and is appreciated by other enthusiasts. In terms of the car's overall condition, the seller admits that it needs more work due to its age. While they describe it as a good, solid car, they acknowledge that the interior carpet needs replacing, and the windshield will need to be replaced as well. The Thunderbird has been driven approximately 125,000 miles, which is not uncommon for a classic car of this age. It's equipped with an automatic transmission, and the seller states that both the engine and transmission operate as they should. The exterior of the car is finished in a teal-green color, which was painted in 1989. The interior also features a green color scheme. The seller mentions that the interior is in good shape overall, despite the need for new carpeting. It's important to note that while the seller has invested money and effort into making the car roadworthy, they are looking to sell it due to the upcoming winter season and their work demands. They are open to answering any questions potential buyers may have. Given the car's history, the work that has been done to improve its mechanical condition, and its overall solid state, the asking price of $9,500 seems reasonable. However, potential buyers should keep in mind that additional work, such as replacing the carpet and windshield, will be necessary. As with any classic car purchase, it's always a good idea to inspect the vehicle in person, if possible, and to ask the seller for any additional information or documentation they may have. This can help you to verify the car's condition and make an informed decision about whether it's the right fit for you. 14. We're taking a look at a 1977 Cadillac Coupe de Ville that's currently for sale on Facebook Marketplace. The seller has listed this classic luxury car at a price of $4,000 or best offer, and they're not interested in trades. From the seller's description, it's clear that this Coupe de Ville has both its strengths and weaknesses. Let's start with the positives. The car features a white leather interior, which is a luxurious and classic choice for a Cadillac of this era. Under the hood, you'll find a powerful 425 V8 engine, which should provide plenty of smooth performance. The seller has made several upgrades and replacements to enhance the car's overall condition. They've installed new plugs, shocks all around, new headlight housings with LED bulbs, and a straight pipe exhaust system. The car also features a Bluetooth radio, and new rear speakers, bringing a touch of modern convenience to this classic ride. Additionally, the seller has purchased several new parts that come with the car, including front fender fillers, rear license plate fillers, and new leather for the doors. While these parts are not yet installed, they provide the opportunity for the new owner to further improve the car's appearance and condition. However, the seller is also upfront about the car's shortcomings. They mention that it's an old car and has some rust and quirks, which is not uncommon for a vehicle of this age. It's important to keep in mind that a 45-year-old car will likely require ongoing maintenance and repairs. Despite these issues, the seller states that the car rides great and that they've driven it at speeds of up to 80 mph on the highway with ease. They also mention that installing some new wheels would enhance the car's overall look and make it a great driver. The seller had originally planned to install some Poppy's patina on the hood, roof, and trunk to give the car a unique look, but they've decided to sell it as is due to purchasing another Cadillac. Given the car's age, condition, and the included upgrades and new parts, the asking price of $4,000 or best offer seems reasonable. However, potential buyers should be prepared to invest time and money into maintaining and improving the car as needed. 15. We're taking a closer look at a 1985 Chevrolet Camaro that's currently for sale on Facebook Marketplace. The seller has listed this classic muscle car at a price of $10,000. From the seller's description, it's clear that this Camaro is in excellent condition. The car has been driven only 43,000 miles, which is incredibly low for a vehicle that's nearly 40 years old. This low mileage suggests that the car has been well cared for and has not been subjected to excessive wear and tear. The seller explicitly states that the vehicle has no significant damage or problems, which is always reassuring when considering a classic car purchase. They also mention that the car has a clean title and is paid off, which means the buyer won't have to worry about any outstanding loans or liens. The Camaro is equipped with an automatic transmission, making it easy to drive and enjoy. The exterior of the car is finished in a striking red color, which is complemented by a matching red interior. This color combination is a classic choice for the Camaro and really makes the car stand out. Given the car's low mileage, excellent condition, and clean title, the asking price of $10,000 seems quite reasonable. This Camaro would make a great addition to any collector's garage or serve as a fun weekend cruiser for someone who appreciates classic American muscle cars. It's important to note that the seller does not mention any specific upgrades or modifications to the car, which suggests that it may be largely original. This originality can be highly desirable for collectors who value authenticity. As with any used car purchase, it's always a good idea to inspect the vehicle in person, if possible, and to ask the seller for any additional information or documentation they may have. This can help you to verify the car's condition and make an informed decision about whether it's the right fit for you. In summary, this 1985 Chevrolet Camaro appears to be a well-maintained, low-mileage classic that's ready to hit the road. With its striking red-on-red color scheme, clean title, and excellent overall condition, it offers a compelling package for anyone in the market for a classic American muscle car. The asking price of $10,000 seems justified given the car's desirable attributes. If you're interested in this Camaro, be sure to reach out to the seller and take the next steps towards making it yours. 16. We're taking a look at a 1979 Ford Mustang Ghia that's currently for sale on Facebook Marketplace. The seller has listed this classic pony car at a firm price of $5,000 cash. From the seller's description, it's clear that this Mustang has both its strengths and weaknesses. Let's start with the positives. The car features a factory two-tone tangerine and black paint scheme, which gives it a unique and eye-catching appearance. The interior is finished in black, providing a nice contrast to the exterior colors. Under the hood, you'll find a 2.8-liter V6 engine, paired with a C4 3-speed automatic transmission. The seller mentions that the car runs and drives, which is a good starting point for a classic car. The Mustang has been upgraded with some notable features, including larger front disc brakes from a 1992 Mustang GT, which should improve stopping power. It also comes with replica wheels from a 1993 Cobra, along with new tires, giving the car a more modern and aggressive look. The seller also includes the factory rims and tires with the sale. However, the seller is upfront about the car's needs. They mention that it requires some minor work, including front struts, an alignment, possibly a new alternator, and a tune-up. These are relatively common issues for a car of this age and should be taken into consideration when evaluating the overall value of the vehicle. The seller also notes that there is some rust present in the driver's toe board area, which is an important factor to consider. However, they state that the strut towers, hatch, and the rest of the floors are clean, suggesting that the rust issue is relatively localized. In addition to the car itself, the seller is including several extra parts in the sale. These include an 8.8 Posey rear end, minus axles and center pin, new drums, a complete T5 setup, minus flywheel and pedals, a front V8 factory K-member, master cylinder and booster, and a 5.0 H-pipe and catback exhaust. These parts could be valuable for someone looking to upgrade or modify the car in the future. Given the car's condition, included extras, and the work needed, the asking price of $5,000 cash seems reasonable. However, potential buyers should carefully consider the costs associated with addressing the mentioned issues and factor that into their decision-making process. In summary, this 1979 Ford Mustang Ghia is a classic pony car with a unique factory two-tone paint scheme and some notable upgrades. While it does require some minor work and has a localized rust issue, the seller is upfront about these concerns. The included extra parts add value to the package, making the $5,000 cash asking price seem reasonable for the right buyer. If you're in the market for a classic Mustang project car and don't mind addressing some minor issues, this car could be worth considering. 17. We're taking a closer look at a 1985 Chevrolet Corvette that's currently for sale on Facebook Marketplace. The seller has listed this classic sports car at a price of $7,500. From the seller's description, it seems that this Corvette is in good overall condition. The seller mentions that the car runs well, which is always a positive sign for a classic vehicle. They also state that the vehicle has no significant damage or problems, suggesting that it has been well maintained and cared for over the years. The car has been driven 79,600 miles, which is relatively low for a vehicle that's nearly 40 years old. This mileage indicates that the Corvette has been enjoyed but not overused, and has likely received regular maintenance throughout its life. The exterior of the car is finished in a classic red color, while the interior features a black color scheme. The combination of red and black is a timeless and sporty look for the Corvette, making it an attractive choice for enthusiasts. The Corvette is equipped with an automatic transmission, which makes it easy to drive and enjoy. The seller also mentions that the car has a clean title and is paid off, providing peace of mind for potential buyers. However, it's important to note that the seller does mention one issue with the car: the air conditioning is not working. While this is not a critical problem, it's something to keep in mind, especially if you plan to use the car during hot summer months. Repairing or replacing the air conditioning system could add to the overall cost of ownership. Given the car's overall condition, low mileage, and clean title, the asking price of $7,500 seems quite reasonable. This Corvette would make a great addition to any collector's garage or serve as a fun weekend cruiser for someone who appreciates classic American sports cars. As with any used car purchase, it's always a good idea to inspect the vehicle in person if possible, and to ask the seller for any additional information or documentation they may have. This can help you to verify the car's condition and make an informed decision about whether it's the right fit for you. In summary, this 1985 Chevrolet Corvette appears to be a well-maintained, low-mileage classic that runs well and has no significant damage or problems. While the non-functioning air conditioning is a drawback, it's not an uncommon issue for a car of this age. The attractive red and black color scheme, automatic transmission, and clean title make this Corvette a compelling option for enthusiasts. 18. Let me tell you about this 1983 Oldsmobile Delta 88 I found on Facebook Marketplace. This is actually quite an interesting find, and I want to be completely straight with you about it. This white Delta 88 with its blue interior is a classic piece of American automotive history, currently showing 88,310 miles on the clock. The seller is asking $6,000. And here's the real story. It's been through a few owners recently, starting with an elderly couple, which often can be a good sign for maintenance, then briefly owned by their neighbor, and now the current seller. Under the hood, you'll find the original 307 Oldsmobile engine, and according to the seller, it's running strong. The car rides smoothly on brand new tires, which is definitely a plus point. However, let's be honest about the issues. There are two main problems. The speedometer cable needs replacing, not typically a major repair, and the driver's window is currently stuck. Could be anything from a simple switch to a more complex power window mechanism issue. What's particularly interesting is that this car appears to be in generally good condition for its age, especially considering its elderly ownership history. The asking price of $6,000 reflects the current classic car market, though you might have some negotiating room since the seller mentions needing the money for another vehicle repair. These Delta 88s were known for their comfortable ride and reliable performance, and this one seems to maintain that reputation, with the seller noting it rides like a dream. Just remember, you're looking at a 40-year-old car, so while it's described as running well, you should expect some age-related maintenance needs along the way. 19. Let's talk about this interesting 1976 Mercury Montego I found on Facebook Marketplace. I'll be straight with you about what we're looking at here. Listed at $8,000, this tan Montego coupe is showing just 38,000 miles, which is remarkably low for a 47-year-old car. It's powered by a 351 Windsor V8 engine, which was one of Ford's most reliable power plants of that era. What makes this car particularly interesting is its Kentucky origin. Southern cars typically have less rust issues than those from northern states. The seller mentions it's a pretty clean car, and they're highlighting that the interior is in great shape, which is often a rare find for cars of this age. The seller notes that lots of new parts have been installed, though they don't specify which ones. It would be worth asking about this. The car runs good, according to the listing, which is promising. But as with any classic car purchase, you'd want to verify the mechanical condition in person. For $8,000, you're looking at a relatively uncommon piece of 70s American automotive history. The Montego wasn't as popular as some of its Ford cousins, which makes this low-mileage example quite interesting. These mid-70s models represent the end of the true full-size American coupe era, and this one appears to be a well-preserved example. Just remember, even with low mileage, we're still talking about a 47-year-old car, so some age-related maintenance should be expected. But based on the description, this seems to be a solid survivor from the disco era. 20. Let me tell you about this wild 1981 El Camino I found on Marketplace. And I'll be completely honest about what we're looking at here. This isn't your typical El Camino. This is a serious drag racing machine listed at $10,500. The brown exterior might be modest, but what's underneath is anything but ordinary. The seller has transformed this El Camino into a purpose-built race car, and the modifications list is extensive. Let's talk about the heart of this beast. It's running a stroked 400 small-block Chevy engine with some serious performance parts. We're talking Callie's crankshaft, Wiseco pistons, aluminum heads, and a mechanical roller camshaft. The 850 Holley alcohol carburetor tells you this isn't built for grocery runs. It's got a fresh rebuild with 0 passes on it, which means this combination hasn't been tested yet. The race-ready setup includes a fiberglass front end, fenders and hood, to save weight, a new roll cage for safety, and a Ford 9-inch rear end, which is the go-to choice for serious drag racers. There's also a B&M Pro ratchet shifter, CO2 shift system, and a 5-gallon fuel cell. Being completely honest here, this isn't a street car anymore. It's a dedicated race car that happens to be in an El Camino body. If you're looking for a classic cruiser, this isn't it. But if you're in the market for a drag strip warrior, this could be interesting. The price point at $10,500 or best offer reflects the investment in performance parts, though as with any race car, you'll want to thoroughly inspect all the work. Remember, this is a purpose-built race vehicle, so don't expect comfort or practicality. It's built for quarter-mile performance, pure and simple.